Looks good right there. I do a little more angle, but looking good right there. We'll let the people come on in. And that's the stuff right there. What's up, Mike? Up to 700 degrees. Yeah, they change up the labeling every couple of years. That's the stuff. It's like $15 at O'Reilly's. Max. Yep, morning. Saturday, 2-stroke breakfast. Here you go. Gotta get my little chair over here. Got my little tools organized and ready. We'll also be taking the old carb off, which is still new, but we'll be taking it out, just getting it out the way. I had it here for mock, but that carb ain't gonna go here. It couldn't set like this anyway, unless it was one of those smart carbs. I just had it there for looks the other day. Leftover piece of tube. That was the expensive tube. $25 tube, which I should have got more of. Very nice. But yeah, we'll be taking this off too. I mean, I could install it on the green bike, but we're not going to do that. We already got the other one tuned just fine. We'll let a little more people get in here. But yeah, I'm going to seal off the intake. I'm also going to look at my spacer. I shouldn't need the spacer in there, but you never know. I do got one on hand. So, and it's a beautiful day. Let's see if we can get y'all a little turn out here. Yeah, grass is mowed. Somebody gone fishing. Nah, my nephew got the boat. The grass is mowed. Need a for sale, 2-stroke. We can also go over some of the pipes I've had. That's a KTM 65 right there. It was modded to fit the Falcon. And I was out here messing with it one day and messed with it and cracked the stinger off. So I got to clean all that up and re-weld it on one day. Just sitting there out the way. And of course the 85cc. I wouldn't mind getting a bigger pipe for this bike though eventually. This is an 85. I'd rather have a 90cc scooter pipe or something on it to get the full swabam. I mean, it's not mounted up right now. I still got tape on the front, and it's just there. It's just mock up. I haven't made a gasket yet or nothing. It is what it is. But yeah, my DMF 85cc pipe, it was like brand new when I got it, bro. Mount may change. It may stay the same. It's a KTM rubber mount right there. Steel rubber coated piece of steel. And of course the Smolik CNC case. 2023 or whatever it is. And they had the pre-sale. RDM crank. What's up, Will? We're out here tinkering. I'm gonna seal the intake off and take the carb off. And hold on. But yeah, it was just there for looks. I just had it there for looks. Everything's sealed up. It's not focusing. I just had it there for looks. I'm getting it taken off. I get the new carb next week, and during the races, when y'all take y'all's lunch break, we may start this bad boy up for intermission. That's that's what I'm thinking about anyway. So The carb should be here Monday or Tuesday. I don't know, the intake will be here next week, so I can cut and fit the little intake, because it's going to run basically. It'll come up, and I'll end up cutting it back to wherever I want the 45 to be, and then I'll have it coming to like right here, you know, maybe 3.5, 4 inches, 3 inches, short as I can get it without touching nothing. Put it that way. I'm gonna have it short as I can get it, no matter if I got to raise my mount up or down a little bit, probably down a hair. Smolik mount, and I may have to change my wiring. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if the ground is going to affect it being here, or if I need to directly mount it to the engine. Let me know in the comments, Will. I know you'd know. And I can't. I see you typing. I'm going to go in and read for a second, because I got to grab something. Can't really read it right now. I'm going to go read it right now. But let me set this down. Plus, I got to grab some stuff on the inside real quick anyway. So let me get that light out of there so it won't blind us. I'm going to grab a few things from the inside, and I'll read you and text y'all real quick. Yep. I wasn't for sure, but that's why I asked. Thought I'd read online somewhere it said it needed to be directly to the engine, so that's no big deal. I got wire, and I can redo that. Might do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today on the live, because, you know, anyway, doesn't matter. But once I get that intake tube, I'll be able to fine tune where this set's at, which it won't be much. If anything, I have to drop it down a hair, and I'll take my ground wire, and I'll probably end up twirling it right here beside this and bringing it back here. And I'm not going to put it under no reed pedal. I'll put it under a case cover bolt, like right here. So that way I won't have to make it go far. I can just make the wire come straight off here, or I'll keep it on the inside here and bring it here. Just boom. So I already got this. This is my motorcycle one. I had to tape it up right here, because when it was riding here on the Avenger, it was heating up the plastic. So I had to put a little electrical tape on it right here. But for the price of this, it can't be beat. So let me go. I got my tools. I go grab my little intake spacer, which, you know, they don't go in there that deep, but I'll put a spacer. I got one in there. I don't know how good it sits in there. We'll check it out. I got longer screws too. Then again, I may run it like this, and then put the spacer on. We'll look at it before I seal everything up. I'm gonna take it off and stuff. Still ain't putting no grease on nothing, which I won't do that until right before I get ready to crank it up. I did grease my bucking bar and my stuff over here the other day. Put a little grease inside my door. put the arm down in there, my thumb over the hole to keep the grease in there. A little bit behind the bucking bar, and that's it. Could have sanded the face of this one down a little bit more to get that little ring off the edge there. Yeah. Let me get my stool, and we'll go ahead and pop this off real quick. I'm going to go check the chat. Since I'm on this side of the phone, I can't see. If I was inside, I'd be able to look at my monitor and talk to y'all better or see what y'all was saying, but I have to actually go inside. Well, I can, the chat, yep, there's Dave. I can see it a little bit out here. What's going on, Dave? Just getting ready to seal my intake up, Dave. And it won't be started up till probably next weekend. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep that intake tube as short as I can. It's got a little 45-degree bend in it, and I'll be cutting it back so the bend will be, you know, so I can get that carb out my way so the pedal, you know, which it ain't going to hit it, but I don't want the heel hitting it. I don't want the back of this. Yeah. Anyway, I know where about needs to set at anyway, so I won't rush it. Trust me, it won't be rushed. Yeah, I got the spacer in there, wheel sitting on my little counter just in case I decided to put it on there. So I'll look at it again and I'm not really going to measure, but I'll look at how far they go in there. Which that'll also make the hose be even shorter, I guess, if I add breaking spacer. I think I got a shorty spacer in there too. I got one out in the house. I'm not going digging out in the house. Hold on. And a couple longer screws and 5mm spacer. I'll get my alcohol. Like I said, once I take all this part, I'll lightly clean the stuff with alcohol. I should lightly sand it, but as long as I clean it with alcohol, it'll be fine. If I don't start, we'll never start. I can just keep the safety stuff right there out the way to the side. I win today. Yeah, I did the Loctite the other day. I read all y'all's messages in there while you're too. Good info, Dave. But yeah, Dave, I'm gonna try to keep it, as clean as possible. I don't want it too long. I have some good velocity going on. The wires in my way. I didn't like how long my power wire was. I'm kind of reroute it too, since I have to mount that other wire. I may even change the locations of that mount too, depending on how the carb sets and everything else. We'll see. I don't mind rerouting the wiring. None of that's Loctite, which I'm probably not going to Loctite that anyway. It's not that serious. Oh yeah, they have gaskets on here. I was mocking up the gaskets. I heard of people using Banshee reeds. They had to use some kind of anyway. That's just some shit I heard. Yeah, I hardly ever used them. I'll probably use the gaskets. This is how it looks on there. Pretty good big phase away. Yes, it is. You can use that. I may test it without it to begin with. Don't sue me. But actually pretty good. I'm gonna leave that there so nothing blows in that bitch. Carb. I'm just gonna let it hang over here for now out of the way. I'll glance see what y'all seeing on the back of the phone. I can see it a little bit. I just had to scroll. I'm not gonna scroll it because then I'll mess the screen up. Thanks, Dave. Let me see if I can scroll. Well, I just checked it, and I still got like over half an inch before they even get to the case. You know what I'm saying? Through the tunnel, I still got room because they're not that long. I still had like this much room before like we hit the boost port area or anywhere. So I think that it's going to be fine. All I can do is test. And I can, once I get it tuned like that, and if I can slap one on. I got a 10 in the house too. This may be the one Leonard sent me. Leonard sent me one day. I think he sent me the 5. Too big to make it a keychain. I have a keychain already. Old, like I said, old chainsaw thing I've had for years. I had to cut it off the crank. But, here, I'll show y'all my keychain. I've seen other people showing their keychains the other night. This one goes in my, I've had it, this don't go in my pocket. I put that in my, right inside my belt loop or something, hang them off my hip. But that's my keychain from a 33cc chainsaw. I put it like this. Put it in there. But yeah, it's a little 33. I forget what kind of cheap chainsaw it was, but yeah, just a nice little rod, a little short rod. Yep, I've been rocking it for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Because I don't like keeping keys in my pocket. I don't keep the wallet in my pocket unless I go into a store. As soon as I come out, it goes back into the vehicle, out of my damn pocket. Yep. Midday, Josh. Come on in. We're just tinkering and sealing. And I see my safety meeting got in the damn screen there. Yeah, even got a new bit of gas line in there too in the house. I still got from end of last year whenever I changed something else out. I may even put a little dab of Loctite on the screws just for the heck of it. And I don't have the Smolik intake. I might have to use the RDM one. One day when I buy the Smolik one, I'll swap it out. That way it'd be mostly, you know, Smolik case. But I do have the RDM crank in there, which may change over time too. I may slap trying to crank in there, see how the new spring works, and then you know, Op1's got to know. Probably never used that thing. I almost used my old one. I'll show y'all my old one here in just a second. But it's been left out here, and it's been worked all the way out there. And there was a little bit in there, but I was like, it was time to get some new stuff. But yeah, yep, I'm always go raw, bro. I can't help it. whatever I gotta use to get in that corner down there. Don't need that much. Not at the moment. Y'all gotta talk. I'll have to read the chat in a minute. You know I can't see it. I'm in deep. Need to bring my water out here. I really tripped it here. Now, I may use the gasket. Yeah, I'll use the gasket. I'll just put a little on the back side of the reed. That's basically like 10 millimeter spacer right there already. I didn't know if y'all could see me. I'm just putting the stuff on there. And I gotta smooth it around a little bit. You can tell when that stuff's new, bro. It works super nice. Yes, I always use ultra grade, no matter if they're using a gasket or not. That's why you don't see me fighting air leaks. You're just sit there a minute. I'll pick the phone up, check y'all out. We got plenty of room. Plenty. A little extra everywhere. We clean up the excess after. That's the edge of my fingernail. Oh yeah, let me turn the light off. Yeah, I guess leave the light on for a minute. Yeah. You know, got to change the wiring up. Got to make that ground hit the case. Yeah, it's windy as heck. Flag's tore up. I need to replace the flag, but you can see those trees. And that's just a little gusting right now. I should have blown through here like a tornado in a second. Let me see how y'all look. Well, y'all can see pretty good. Yeah, y'all keep talking. I'll go in a minute, chat with y'all. It's a good temperature out here for doing this too. Good painting weather. Just not with the wind today. I wouldn't paint shit today because of the wind. It's good temperature there. That's getting pretty tacky up here. Like a glove. Like a glove. Remember. I'm glad I did that. Dust was coming in right then, bro. You give me dust. Hope the screw ain't too long. It was long enough for this to use with a spacer, so it shouldn't bottom out or anything. I do got them little short ones there though. Don't need that in my lap no more. I'm gonna check on y'all. Hope y'all keeping the chat alive. Like I said, I mean, I can glance at you now that I can get my hands clean. I can pick it up, but I can't read much. It only shows me 3 lines, and then I gotta, scroll around. No, the stock China case is fine. Just fine. Ronald McDonald, you know why they don't talk about him? They try to keep him under wraps, bro. Anyway. No, there's nothing wrong with the China case. Matter of fact, we're going to pull the LD90 out and crank it because it ain't been cranking about 2 weeks, and that's probably what I'm going to ride on the trace. So don't be a troll. You'll be blocked. Nobody got no time for that. You want to play kid games, go to the playground. This is just bigger and better, But I always rock China. Why wouldn't I? It's cheaper to run them than run these. I just want to see how far this. Oh, this screw's gonna make it. Oh yeah, it's just fine. Still a little loose, so I can get them all in. And we're gonna go with the 2 shiny ones on the sides. Let's see how deep they go. Just fine. Just fine. No Loctite. I didn't want the Loctite to blend with the ultra gray and mess one or the other up, so we just put a little dab on that. I always wanted one of those cases ever since I found out about them years ago. I was like, it'd be cool to have one day, maybe. And then, why wouldn't you want to try to get one? That's the question. If you're in this long enough, I mean, you don't have to. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people, I mean, not everyone, but some people like to have them. So this is my 3rd one. But yet it's the first one I'm going to run. How about that? But you don't hear me talking about all that. I mean, me and Leonard talk shit about our stuff because he's the only ones I got to talk to about it. There's a couple other people, but I don't talk to them. I like talking to Leonard. Leonard's my boy. I hadn't seen Leonard in the chat yet. Maybe he'll pop in the chat because we're going to at least go for an hour. But yeah, we're getting ready. Everything goes as planned. Everything comes in the mail right. We'll be starting her up next weekend. I'm gonna wait till the weekend, and we'll do a intermission live startup. First start, like I've done a bunch of engines. A couple of them. I've did a lot of engines, but for just myself, But we'll do a first start. I'm just letting it sit up a little more taggy. I mean, it's great right now. I could tighten it down and walk away and let it dry. I'm just letting it sit a little bit longer. It's pretty good. Usually they tell you to wait like 10 minutes or something, which is also good. Matter of fact, I'll go inside and drink my water. Leave the camera here, chat to y'all over the computer real quick. Yeah, I get my also buy my thread locker in the Permatex too. This was like a $10 bottle. I wouldn't buy that littler bottle than this. You get no uses. This one you should be able to get a couple years of use out of this, especially if you got 2 or 3 bikes, and you're using it a lot, or depending. Sometimes a couple of years, 2 or 3. I don't know. I've got stuff I've Loctited down. It's just how it is. You don't need grid. But yeah, I use the Permatex too. It also is good stuff. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Boop, 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 boop. How long to say we've been on here for? 47 minutes already. Be pretty good. I'll barely put a little in that. Uh-oh, hand on my foot. Get off me, hand. Knock that one back. Back. It's right there. Just that little bit down there, my finger got under rests. Just let dry and be clean wiped off. See, that the way they make that looks like a 10 millimeter spacer just already. But like I said, I had a good amount of room in there, and so those are really nice pedals. It'll take them a while to tear up, but like I said, we'll be running it for a while and testing stuff on it. And there is also a little gray around my Viton seal just for the hell of it back there. Little gray on my gasket, top and bottom. Focus camera. I will check them. Like I said, I'll check them. I probably won't be running too hard at first, but we'll be checking and testing. I wouldn't mind trying different type pedals too, but can't focus. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll let that dry and then wipe all that off. Like I said, I still got to make a gasket, and Riley's also has that the thick white material. It's like 1200 degrees. It's like 1.6 millimeters thick, and yeah, they don't blow out. It's good stuff though. Yeah, yours ain't like nobody else's will. Nobody built one that big yet. You got the crazy big liquid cool. All I ever did was build the little China case liquid cool, which was still fun. 50cc of Fury. But see if I can move y'all in a little closer without spilling everything on the damn ground. I don't know if that's any better. Maybe that's a little better. I gotta turn that light off. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's it's actually a YB 50 millimeter head or whatever from Smolik. I think that's what I had ordered. Saw that away when I paid a custom price to get one, but I did like try a few things out, and I bought these brass spacers that fit over the 6 millimeter bolt and fit inside the head and the cylinder, but they were short, which helps keep everything lined up, but I didn't use them. I just lined up everything perfect. And then as I slowly tighten everything down. And yeah, I'm just running the O-ring head, no gasket. I don't think I have a gasket in there. No, just the O-ring. And like I said, it should be like a 9 or a 9.2 squish or something like that. Because Amos told me about the squish calculator. It can tell you a squish range, but for your setup, your stroke, and your piston size, you put that in the calculator, and it'll give you a optimal squish range for that setup within some numbers or whatnot. And so I hit right in my range. I may have it saved somewhere over there on my computer. I have to go look in a little while. And like I said, the mount may change. I may put the mount, let me get the phone back in my hand. I may put the mount, I may get the cheap CDH mount that I got in the house, and I may end up putting it back down here because it stiffens that pipe up right here. I really don't need one here because I'll have the exhaust hose running up with some zip ties keeping it tight over there out the way, which it flows real good. The zip ties are just there so the pedals and stuff don't hit it as mainly, and it goes back to the muffler. But when I had the mount here to the factory mount off that, this is the steel piece I use. That's a solid piece of steel. I used it between the two mounts right here. And yeah, you talk about stiff. That's why it never broke yet, because I didn't weld this part. I had to let somebody else weld that, which is solid. And they welded that up there, you know, cut and folded, welded that for me. Well, that's when I had it on the Athena, and then when I moved it to the horizontal, I had cut it and welded it myself right here. That's why I had a little small one. But it should be suited up by now. But like I said, one day I'll probably get a bigger pipe. But that's like an expensive shit there, bro. Those 90cc pipes, whoo, because it needs a bigger pipe. And hell, 24. You probably couldn't run this with, not optimal, with anything lower than a 24 millimeter. It'll probably take a 26, but we're going 24. I don't know what the .30, I'm not that mathematical. Not that mathematical. Will. Sometimes my brain has a dysfunction, and other times it'd be on point. You know. Let me go grab my water. And I can read the rest of the stuff. What does it say? Hour and 7. See, my chat on my phone's totally messed up. But yeah, we got all the clearance. Just like nowhere near. And yeah, this was just the one I had on the Avenger. Y'all, it's just a 21. I didn't have this intake on there. I just had mocked it up just to have it on the bike out of the way so it wouldn't be hanging when I had it in storage though. But it was my new intake I put on there. I could stick this on the LD90 and mount it to the G2, but because I got the 19 on there, I could put the 21 on there. But that was my newest carb there. I just, we had it there for mock-up. I mean, just not mock-up, just to cover the intake and make it look crazy. Way too high in the air. Way too high in the air. Hold on. That's no Electron there, but if it was, it'd be fine, something like that. But it ain't. Yeah, that's coming off. I was going to take that off, but I hadn't taken it off yet. I was going to take it off on stream, but I'd have been like, no. Need to have you a daily wheel, or it ain't got to be a daily. You could turn your other bike into the Street Queen. Yes, Bravo Bells. Yeah, Josh, if you ever do it, I mean, on my green bike, if you could see those pads in there, and I just, I'm not racing or street riding, those mugs will last for years. These are the pit bike ones for, for the Smolik adapter for the 203. But yeah, they come with extra pads when you get them, and like I'm nowhere close to wearing them things out. I mean, they but I do have the 220 set up. I mean, I could put it on here, but I didn't want to undo everything. But I do have the 220 set up. But yeah, I still got to make the gasket and figure out what I'm gonna do about that mount. I still like my mount here being because it's solid as hell. It makes everything perfect. I could kick that with my foot and it wouldn't hurt nothing. But yeah, this one is just there for now. I was, mocking up, looking at stuff. 38. I thought it was 36, 38. And the Xiaomino on the back. I forget what size it was. or not Chapman, I forget. It was no, that's the BMX one on this bike. This one has the BMX free wheel. The other two bikes had the $30 one. This is like the BMX one or something. Like a pinky finger. Pinky finger. Yeah, reset up that, readjusted everything, make sure that ain't touching. And it's a street bike / pull up and we'll drag race. Get some light in there. That was the light. Well, that sucked. And I gotta get a longer tube. I'll do that next week too. Longer radiator hose to reach from here to there, so she's not so crunk up sounding. I'm not trying to wake the dead. I'll bring her inside in a minute. I thought about starting up the green bike, but it needs to be started up. Just chilling. We may bring it outside and start it up before I end the live. What's up, Jared D? I'm gonna wash my hands and make a little cup of coffee, and then we'll come and start the bike up. I need to run the gas that was in the carb set and run the new gas in. I mean, that gas is in, it's good, but I need to run the gas that was in the lines already get on, which I thought I tried to run it out before I put it away, but we'll take it outside and crank it up, because this is probably what I'm riding out there on the trace ride, my ALD. China tool bag, leather. Only thing that ever happened was the little straps they had right here. They only had a staple in them, so I put zip ties for the littles. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna go make a coffee. There's the Avenger. That's where my other 11 tooth was the other day. I was looking, I didn't remember where I stuck it. There's my RDM 11 tooth right there. It's on the freaking Athena. That's where it is. Look how nice it looks, and it's got like, I don't know how many hours on it. Yeah, it's probably right there. It's from the pliers I touched it with. Yeah, quality gears. I'm gonna go make coffee real quick, and then we'll start up the bike. Well, turn this light off. Yeah, we'll get the bike out. It only takes a second to get it out the door. I'm gonna go start the cup though. This little single cup, Kruig. I fill it up with my own coffee. it's making right now, so we'll go ahead and bring it outside. I don't know why this is behind. I'll set y'all outside while I finish. I go mix in my little bit of crema and sugar. Yeah. I like coffee with my cream and sugar. You heard it right. Even though it's warm, I'm not going out there to play in that warmness. I'll be playing in it next week, working. What y'all got? Welcome, Ivan. Be right back, y'all. Looks like we might go for an hour to an hour and a half. bunch of kaya. Big ass cup. Turn the fuel on real quick. I'll bring y'all over here. Safety first. Yep. 47 millimeter Smolik head. This is 48 millimeter. And you know, this is the as-is cover from Smolik Performance, $30. They were machined, but for some reason they didn't fit whatever billet cases a couple years ago. But they fit China doll great and last forever. And they give you a little bling. I bought like three or four of them. At least 3 of them. But yeah, you know, she's fun. She makes all the right noises. This is a little 19 millimeter bolt on, straight to the G2 adapter. And that's a little line, so I know it don't slide off or move any. Anyway, I guess she's mounted pretty good. But yeah, you know, not too fast, not too slow. Makes all the right noises. Little cheap MZ65. CDH mount that has never come off the frame. It's been on there ever since I've had the frames. It's never moved. Yeah, my first frame. I put lights on it, end of last year. This added the second light. I still need to redo the wiring up top, up here. I just put it together and soldered it and taped over it and blah, 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 anyway. But yeah. So, brake light there and there. We'll crank it up real quick. It needs to run for a minute. And it needs a muffler. Other than that, be all right. Hope you enjoyed. Looked like I got a little splatter on the back of the phone. It was only 168 after not having been cranking up. Now it's at 169, 170. Yep, just a clean with a nice build. Needs a little muffler on it though. Just a little muffler, 10. Good old 36. You see it pulled me just fine. Yeah. The not so expensive rider. The not ride everyday rider. And it's muggy out there already. Look. 86 in the windy. That's because of the overcast and the rain we've had and the moisture. You're in the South. We get rain. Our crops are already, some of the crops are already over a foot high. It is what it is. Now this is old. Well, I could rewatch it. That way I can hear what it sounded like to you for y'all. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Yep. You need to be random in it. And it takes off real easy. It's got a lot of power. Just for what it is, you know, cheap and fun. I mean, it's windy here, like it'll blow you over right now with the gusts that come through. I can't be riding. The way it hits me, it's going to hit me left to right or right to left, no matter where I go. So, and I definitely can't go head on. You're fucked. So best not to even ride. That's why I was doing a little finishing up on that one, which I still got stuff to do to it. But the chain's good on the new bike. I replaced the chain, put the last bit of new 41 I had left, put a new master link on it. You know, new engine, it's getting a new carb, you know. Not much more I could do besides a new pipe, which I don't have money for that. But yeah, that'll be my bike that's going out on the trace ride. Heads up, spoiler, yeah, I'll be using the green bike. It's got shocks up front. I just wish the handlebars were about 2 or 3 inches higher because it's still in the sporty position. I mean, it looks fabulous the way it is. I love it. But if longer rides, I'd probably want it to be about 2 inches higher. But it'll be fine. I'm not going to wear my vest. I'm going to just wear my T-shirt and the backpack with a couple drinks in it, you know, and travel light. Just bring me some drinks and stuff. And I have my little tool bag on the front, which I'm sure Kevin will have him a little tool bag. And then, so, you know, Jared, I have him a spare tube. I keep a tube in mine, you know. We'll be good to go. Another reason for bringing the gas tank or the gas bike on ride like that would be to hold more gas in case other people were running with like a smaller tank and they ran out. I could drain off gas and give them gas like on the ride back or something if they needed gas. It'd be the only reason. But like I said, I've made that whole trip on the blue bike with that peanut tank. I filled it up and I went all the way there and back and still had a little gas left. And I did that on when I did the ride. I did the ride nonstop and didn't stop nowhere. Basically like a mini torture test, but not really a torture test because I knew my temperature and stuff on the bike or whatever. But I wasn't beating it hard. I was just cruising. I would let off and cruise for a second and, ease back into it. But I didn't stop on the last full ride I did out there on the Cranbrook. Now on the way back, I stopped 2 or 3 times checking stuff out, taking a break, just for the heck of it. But not really a torture test. It was just more testing what I've already tested, and But it's a great ride. Like I said, we'll stop at a couple of little stops. We'll stop at the halfway mark because that's where I don't know. It's just a little stop, and we can look at everything, and then it's the first real stop. There's a little stop on the left. It's like this old school site, girls' school site that there's nothing there. It's just a pull in and a parking area with a little sign or something. That's it. It's not really. It may be a pathway to where it was, but there's no real exhibit there. But the halfway point's only like a hill exhibit. I can't remember what they talk about there. Maybe it's like it, but that used to be the beginning of the trace years ago. So it'll be fun. We'll try to. I wish I had a newer camera, even though I have picked out one. I don't have money for that either. Maybe middle of this year I'll get me a new camera. I have seen one online that's nice, like the DJI. I ain't gonna lie, get the DJI one, or this other one. I forget what the name of it was, but not the newest, because the newest always shit costs us. You get the version right before whatever the newest shit comes out. But yeah, I've been needing a new camera. My shit looks like boo-boo. Unless I go outside. And my phone, it's a cheap phone too. I ain't paying much for no phone. Even though a $100 phone is 10 times better than a $40 phone. You used to get really nice phones for $100. But anyway, yeah, we've been on here long enough. What's my battery? My battery's getting down low. We'll walk back, glance at the bikes for a minute, and then we're going to get off because we've been on way too long. I don't even know if I've ever been this long on a live. But I'm glad y'all got to show up. We got the intake sealed up. Only thing that's basically it for sealing up the motor was that intake, and she done now. I just got to make that exhaust gasket and give me a little radiator hose next week. Because the one I got on there, it would have been long enough, but I had cut it this much off of it or something to fit whatever when I swapped engines over. So yeah, I need a new piece of hose. It was only like 18. It was under $20 when I got it. I just can't remember if I got it in Faraday or if I got it in town here. So it's all good. Got my Leonard Roller modified middle mirrors. They're beautiful. They swivel left and right and bevel. Just lock that bolt down there. But yeah, they swivel. I mean, they turn, and it makes a little oval turn, and it flexes back and forth too, so you can get it perfect. Also another modified Leonard Roller mirror, and I have just put one on the blue bike. This was the one on the blue bike, and I was moving them around doing something, but yeah, and it keeps it down here out the way. I don't like when they're up here. You shorten them up, put them right here. It looks right by your side. I mean, you see everything. If someone was standing behind you, you'd see their face. I mean, it's like here's my face. I look here. I can put this mug, see the whole road behind me if I wanted to. It's not but anyway. Did I reset the rev counter? Yeah, that was the highest rev we only did. I know it sounded loud, but that's as far as we went. 50,000. Ain't like I revved it to the moon, y'all. I'll kill it. Yep, big brakes. Like, subscribe to Kevin's Shop.